Jesus washes his disciples' feet, John 13. It was now just before the Passover feast, and Jesus knew that his hour had come to leave this world and return to the Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the very end. The evening meal was underway, and the devil had already put into the heart of Judas, the son of Simon Iscariot, to betray Jesus. Jesus knew that the Father had delivered all things into his hands, and that he had come from God and was returning to God. So he got up from the supper, laid aside his outer garments, and wrapped a towel around his waist. After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and dry them with the towel that was around him. He came to Simon Peter, who asked him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus replied, "You do not realize now what I am doing, but later you will understand. Never shall you wash my feet." Peter told him. Jesus answered, "Unless I wash you, you have no part with me." "Then, Lord," Simon Peter replied, "not only my feet, but my hands and my head as well." Jesus told him, "Whoever has already bathed needs only to wash his feet, and he will be completely clean. And you are clean, though not all of you." For he knew who would betray him. That is why he said, "Not all of you are clean." When Jesus had washed their feet and put on his outer garments, he reclined with them again and asked, "Do you know what I have done for you? You call me teacher and Lord, and rightly so, because I am. So if I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet. I have set you an example, so that you should do as I have done for you. Truly, truly, I tell you, no servant is greater than his master, nor is a messenger greater than the one who sent him. If you know these things, you will be blessed if you do them. I am not speaking about all of you. I know whom I have chosen. But this is to fulfill the scripture. The one who shares my bread has lifted up his heel against me. I am telling you now before it happens, so that when it comes to pass, you will believe that I am he. Truly, truly, I tell you, whoever receives the one I send receives me, and whoever receives me receives the one who sent me." After Jesus had said this, he became troubled in spirit and testified, "Truly, truly, I tell you, one of you will betray me." The disciples looked at one another, perplexed as to which of them he meant. One of his disciples, the one whom Jesus loved, was reclining at his side, so Simon Peter motioned to him to ask Jesus which one he was talking about. Leaning back against Jesus, he asked, "Lord, who is it?" Jesus answered, "It is the one to whom I give this morsel after I have dipped it." Then he dipped the morsel and gave it to Judas, son of Simon Iscariot. And when Judas had taken the morsel, Satan entered into him. Then Jesus said to Judas, "What you are about to do, do quickly." But no one at the table knew why Jesus had said this to him. Since Judas kept the money bag, some thought that Jesus was telling him to buy what was needed for the feast, or to give something to the poor. As soon as he had received the morsel, Judas went out into the night. When Judas had gone out, Jesus said, "Now the Son of Man is glorified, and God is glorified in him. If God is glorified in him, God will also glorify the Son in himself, and will glorify him at once. Little children, I am with you only a little while longer. You will look for me, and as I said to the Jews, so now I say to you, where I am going, you cannot come. A new commandment I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you also must love one another. By this everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another." "Lord, where are you going?" Simon Peter asked. Jesus answered, "Where I am going, you cannot follow me now, but you will follow later." "Lord," said Peter, "why can't I follow you now? I will lay down my life for you. Will you lay down your life for me?" Jesus replied, "Truly, truly, I tell you, before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times. In my Father's house are many rooms, John 14. Do not let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God, believe in me as well. In my Father's house are many rooms. If it were not so, would I have told you that I am going there to prepare a place for you? And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and welcome you into my presence, so that you also may be where I am. You know the way to the place where I am going." "Lord," said Thomas, "we do not know where you are going, so how can we know the way?" Jesus answered, "I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you had known me, you would know my Father as well. From now on you do know him and have seen him." Philip said to him, "Lord, show us the Father, and that will be enough for us." Jesus replied, "Philip, I have been with you all this time, and still you do not know me? Anyone who has seen me has seen the Father. How can you say, 'Show us the Father'? Do you not believe that I am in the Father, and the Father is in me? The words I say to you, I do not speak on my own. Instead, it is the Father dwelling in me, performing his works. Believe me that I am in the Father, and the Father is in me, or at least believe on account of the works themselves. Truly, truly, I tell you, whoever believes in me will also do the works that I am doing. He will do even greater things than these, because I am going to the Father. And I will do whatever you ask in my name, so that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If you ask me for anything in my name, I will do it. If you love me, you will keep my commandments. And I will ask the Father, and he will give you another advocate to be with you forever, the Spirit of truth. The world cannot receive him, because it neither sees him nor knows him. But you do know him, for he abides with you and will be in you. I will not leave you as orphans, I will come to you. In a little while the world will see me no more, but you will see me. Because I live, you also will live. On that day you will know that I am in my Father, and you are in me, and I am in you. Whoever has my commandments and keeps them is the one who loves me. The one who loves me will be loved by my Father, and I will love him and reveal myself to him. Judas, not Iscariot, asked him, Lord, why are you going to reveal yourself to us and not to the world? Jesus replied, If anyone loves me, he will keep my word. My Father will love him, and we will come to him and make our home with him. Whoever does not love me does not keep my words. The word that you hear is not my own, but it is from the Father who sent me. All this I have spoken to you while I am still with you. But the Advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you all things and will remind you of everything I have told you. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, do not be afraid. You heard me say, I am going away, and I am coming back to you. If you loved me, you would rejoice that I am going to the Father, because the Father is greater than I. And now I have told you before it happens, so that when it does happen you will believe. I will not speak with you much longer, for the prince of this world is coming, and he has no claim on me. But I do exactly what the Father has commanded me, so that the world may know that I love the Father. Get up. Let us go on from here. Jesus the true vine, John 15. I am the true vine, and my Father is the keeper of the vineyard. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, and every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes to make it even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me, and I will remain in you. Just as no branch can bear fruit by itself unless it remains in the vine, neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine, and you are the branches. The one who remains in me, and I in him, will bear much fruit. For apart from me you can do nothing. If anyone does not remain in me, he is like a branch that is thrown away and withers. Such branches are gathered up, thrown into the fire, and burned. If you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. This is to my Father's glory, that you bear much fruit, proving yourselves to be my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Remain in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and remain in his love. I have told you these things, so that my joy may be in you, and your joy may be complete. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, that he lay down his life for his friends. You are my friends if you do what I command you. No longer do I call you servants, for a servant does not understand what his master is doing. But I have called you friends, because everything I have learned from my Father I have made known to you. You did not choose me, but I chose you. And I appointed you to go and bear fruit, fruit that will remain, so that whatever you ask the Father in my name, he will give you. This is my command to you, love one another. If the world hates you, understand that it hated me first. If you were of the world, it would love you as its own. Instead, the world hates you, because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. Remember the word that I spoke to you. No servant is greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will persecute you as well. If they kept my word, they will keep yours as well. But they will treat you like this because of my name, since they do not know the one who sent me. If I had not come and spoken to them, they would not be guilty of sin. Now, however, they have no excuse for their sin. Whoever hates me hates my Father as well. If I had not done among them the works that no one else did, they would not be guilty of sin. But now they have seen and hated both me and my Father. But this is to fulfill what is written in their law. They hated me without reason. When the Advocate comes, whom I will send to you from the Father, the Spirit of truth who proceeds from the Father, he will testify about me. And you also must testify, because you have been with me from the beginning.